Alright, hi everybody. We are back to complete our dungeon, and we got through 5 dungeon rooms last time. Hopefully we can get through the remaining 5 and then fight boss sorcerer Frieza. This last room we had some poison gas come in, and we only took 1 bit of damage. We're going to search this room for a clue. It'll be our first clue if we do manage to successfully search it. And we don't. We get a 13. We're looking for under our wisdom of a 10. Okay, onward to the next room. And we'll take a look to see if this door is open. A 4. The door is actually trapped. So when the door is trapped, you again follow the trapped doors. Or the trap sequence. So first we determine what the trap is. Get a 10. Oil fills the room. Wow, this is just a full trap room. So now we got oil filling it. Let's see if we can first detect it. And then if we can't detect it, it triggers. If we can detect it, we can try and disarm it. Alright, we got a 10, which is exactly our wisdom. So we do detect it. If detected, you can try and disarm it with a successful dexterity roll. So for us, that's a 4. So the chance that we actually disarm this is whatever the chances of a 4 or less on a d20. And we get a 16. So no joy there. We're going to have to... Oh, and I forgot to heal. And again, take d6 damage. If I get a 5, I will die. 2! Alright. Takes me down to 3 hit points, and after the trap has been sprung, I'm just going to say that this door is open. But before I do anything else, I'm going to have myself a healing potion. Healing potions are D10 plus 2 in Harper's Quest 2. I get a 9, so I get 11. That takes me back up to 14 out of my maximum of 16. So that was a good use of a health potion there. And into this next room. Room 6. We get another enemy here. Alright, let's see who the enemy is. Enemy is an underling. How many of them? 3 underlings. Wow. A lot of ice imps. We've got our ice imps here in the room. This is a perfect time to cast a spell. Hopefully we can get lower than a 10 and get a successful cast. If I successfully get under a 10, I get 2d6 poison damage to all foes. Nope, that's a miss. So that is d3 poison damage to 1 foe. Okay. So for d3, I get a 1. That's the lowest I can do there. So I take 1 Ice Imp down. Alright, Ice Imp 1 is attacking me. He gets a 15. That's a miss. Ice Imp 2, 19, miss. Ice Imp 3, 8. That is less than his attack ceiling, so that's a hit. What's his incoming damage? 2. I'm going to take that damage. Takes my health down to 12. Alright, I'm back on the attack. I'm going to try my luck at another spell cast. Yes. Okay, we got less than 10. Gets us 2d6 poison damage to all foes. Which should wipe them out. 9. So, each had 4 HP, so they are all wiped out. I get 300 more gold. Alright, this room, let's see what's in here. So I'll roll on the room feature and prompts table at the back of the book. 52. A glowing harp. A glowing harp in Harper's Quest? Wow. Alright, I'm going to inspect the harp. Okay, I'm going to ask the Oracle some questions about the harp. Is the harp small enough for me to take with me? 6, yes, and does it have any magical abilities? Yes, but only one. Is this harp belong to the sorcerer Frieza? 2. No. Let's roll on some of these tables to find out a little bit more about the harp. 60. Gramercy. 54. Distressed. 96. Tramp. 24. Caress. Okay, well, maybe there was a tramp, a vagabond, who lost this harp in this very cold hideout, and he would show great gramercy, gratitude, if I were to return it to him. Maybe he's in a nearby village. Alright, so I'm going to take the harp and maybe give it back to somebody in my next adventure. Talk to someone at the inn about it. If there is an inn. Okay, and now that I've searched that harp, I'm also going to search for a clue. First clue we actually got. Excellent. Okay, so we got 1 clue for the boss. 2 more. And now, on to room number 7. Alright, let's take a look at this door. 6. Locked. Fantastic. Alright, well, I need to roll less than a 4 to pick the lock. 4 or less. 14. Nope. Alright, I can't seem to get through this door. Well, I know that I have my halberd. And I am very strong. And this is an ice cave, after all. Well, I was in the ice cave. I'm going to turn around. Go back here, climb up to into the ice cave, and start using my halberd to poke my way through this cave into a secondary tunnel. So let's see if I'm able to do this. Need to get 17 or less. Yep. Okay. Definitely I'm able to poke through. Must have been some thin walls. And now we are into this next room. I'm just going to call this tunnel. A tunnel, not necessarily a room. You can also treat hallways as actual hallways. They don't need to be rooms per se, since this wasn't even part of the game. But this leads me to another room that I burst into, and so let's see who is in here. 4. Another NPC. Told you, this, you either get all traps, all enemies, or all NPCs. So, alright, let's see who we got here. We have a conflict-seeking preacher with stilts. That's an interesting person. Alright, so we've got this person here who is seeking conflict. And he's wearing some stilts. He's a preacher. Alright, let's see what his reaction to us is. 3. He's opposed. Okay. Well, at least he's not violent. I made the mistake of bashing through the golem last time, so I'm just going to try and convince him that he needs to help me defeat Sorcerer Frieza. So I'm going to see if he can't join me on my quest. Alright, so if I roll less than a 10, he's going to join me. 17. Alright. No, he decides that while he wants to seek conflict, he's not going to seek conflict with Sorcerer Frieza. So he's just going to stick around for a while. Does he do anything else? Yes. And he wishes me luck. Gives me a sermon. about something, about being careful, I guess. I ask him not to sound the alarm. Let's see, does he agree to not sound the alarm after I leave? No. No, he doesn't. Okay. So what is it going to take? He's a preacher. He's probably motivated by 26 on my noun table says gait. Like a walk, the way he walks. So perhaps he is... Oh, and that makes sense because he's on stilts. Maybe he's stuck on the stilts. The stilts are frozen on him. So he says, if you can get the stilts off of me, I won't tell anybody that you're here. That makes sense. Okay. So I'm going to use my strength and tell him to hold really still and chop his stilts off. If I can get below 17, I was successful. 18! No! Oh, no. Alright, well, that means I chopped his leg on accident. So now he is screaming. He's screaming out loud. Does anybody hear? 4. Oh, great. This is just going horrible. Yes, but not too many things here. Are they able to see this? Are they able to hear and know that it's in this room? Yes, and they are coming in right now. Okay. So sometimes a yes and isn't necessarily good. Alright, so I'm gonna say it's an encounter again. So that just seems like that's what would be happening. So we'll use the oracle to see who and how many. A 3. Okay, a warrior this time, and how many? 1. Okay, 1 warrior, so 1 frost knight comes in, and he is very concerned about the bleeding preacher that has stilts on him, and he's screaming in the background. He walks into this room, sees me with a bloody halberd, and yeah, so he is going to immediately attack. So I'm not going to get the first attack here. He needs to roll a 10 or less for a hit. 16, so he misses. So I jump out of the way. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to attack. If we get 16 or less, which I do. Roll my damage, which is 6 plus a d4. Since I got momentum. 2, so that's 8. He only had 7 HP to begin with. So thankfully, thanks to a lucky momentum roll, I'm able to chop him down. Take him out in one whack. Alright, I'm going to shove his body into the cave. Is our preacher still screaming out? Yes. How can I make him stop screaming? I don't just want to murder him. Although that would definitely quiet him down. If I give him the antidote that I have, does that heal any of his pain? No. But you can give him your healing potion. Okay. I mean, that seems about right. That's a fair trade. Alright, I have to give up my healing potion. I give it to our preacher. It quiets him down. His leg... Do I have no tourniquet? Well, he'll have to deal with that bleeding. Okay. Since he busted the door open coming into the room, I am just going to head straight into the other room after I search for a clue. Which I get. So I get my second clue. And now we're going to go right into room number 8. Room 8, let's see what we got here. Man, what I wouldn't give for a nice empty room right about now. A 1! Yes! Empty. Excellent. Let's see what's in here. Roll on the D66 table. 53. Exotic plants plush treasure. Okay, so we got our exotic plants. And our go in there and I investigate, and I get to roll on the treasure table. Because right underneath the plant, there is some buried treasure. So you roll the d20 to see what type of treasure. 18. 13 through 18 is 300 gold. All right. That brings me up to, I had 740 plus 300 is 1,040. Just about 1,000 gold, which means if I defeat the boss, I get another 1,000, so I can at least get 2,000 from this dungeon. All right, and now that I'm going to take a look at these plants. Do I recognize these plants? Yes, and they are very helpful plants. So I'm going to harvest them. Do they make a healing potion? No. Okay, so they're not the plants that you can use to make a healing potion. Let's see. Let's do a verb. Let's see what kind of potion this is. What kind of plant this can do. 91. A hitch, and now a noun. A hitch, blacksmith, and adjective. 32. Hitch, blacksmith, showy. So those are all sounding kind of like something that would make you stronger. Blacksmith, like a metal. So maybe a potion that makes your skin steeled, like a armor potion. So, armor potion herb. So when you eat it, you will gain, let's see, what should we gain? Let's see what the Oracle has for us. We can just roll on how many or how much. 5. We'll gain 2 defense. So maybe a defense roll will be at -2. That's what it'll do. It'll lower the next defensive roll by 2. Alright, so we got this plant, the defensive plant here, and now we're going to roll, look for a clue, which we don't find, and we are off to room number 9. Is this door open? Yep, that's a trap door. Alright, to the traps. For a trap, roll a d12 for the trap. Clear dice, impossible to read, gives us a 5. So that's fire spouts, okay. For this dungeon, I'm going to say it's an ice spout, because fire spouts don't make any sense. Got a little ice crystal here. Pretend that's the spout. Am I able to detect that there is a trap? 3. Yes, I can detect it. Great. So I notice it, and I'm going to try and disarm it. So the first thing you do is you try and detect it with wisdom. If you detect it, you can try and disarm it using dexterity, which I have a horrible dexterity score. And I get a 9, which does absolutely nothing. So it's tough to avoid traps altogether. And that gives me 4 damage, which takes me to 8 HP. Ooh, that's not good. Alright, I gotta get through the next 2 rooms and the boss fight without losing 8 hit points. That's gonna be tough. Alright, is this door... Yeah, we said this door is trapped. This opens us up into room 9. If I didn't miss that stilt removal swing of my axe halberd, that could have helped us. Alright. Well, things are getting intense here. I'm a little worried. Alright, who's in this room? 1. Empty. Well, that was a lucky roll. Clue? Yes! Thankfully, I got a clue. I'm going to also do a room prompt. See what we got in this room. 41. Workshop, tools, fresh lumber. So this must be where they make their supplies, make their tools. Is there anything in here to search? 3. No. But looks like there used to be something here, which doesn't help. But anyway. Alright, so nothing here. We go through the workshop. And the next door. Let's see what we got. 1. Oh, we're getting some lucky rolls here. That means it's open. All right. On to room number 10. The last room before the boss fight. I don't know what all those curves are, but... Alright, so what is in this room? A 2. That's empty too. Alright. Finally some good luck here. I don't have any more clues to search for, so I'm going to know the boss's weakness, which will help. I'm still going to roll what a feature is, like what we got in this room. Alright, 45. Writing. Question mark. Alright, well, is this writing in a language that I know? Yes. Does it tell me anything useful about the next room? Oh, yes it does. Alright. So I'm going to say that this writing is maybe just a warning that Sorcerer Frieza is in there. And that, yeah, you know what? Why doesn't this tell me that his power is that he takes -2 damage. He's more immune to melee damage, so I'm going to try and go for ranged damage whenever possible. And we're going to have to see what we can do to create some ranged weapons while we're in there. Okay, so I got a little bit of an extra clue here from this room, and now we take a look at this door right before we open into the boss room and fight the sorcerer. Alright, so that door is trapped yet again. Why? Why dice? Alright, let's see the trap. Let's see what we got here. 12. Acid spray. Can we detect it? Okay, we can detect it. That's good. Can we disarm it? No. Okay. And now that I think about it, I think that I never even tried to avoid the trap last time with the fire spouts, but either way. I can avoid it with a dexterity roll, so I have to get 4 or less. And I get a 9, so I take d6 damage. 6. Alright, now I am going into the boss fight with 2 hit points. Ugh, okay. Well, I walk in and I meet the Sorcerer Frieza. Frieza is there. He asks where I've come from, what I'm doing here. I said that I'm here to fulfill my destiny and to defeat you and return the glowing harp that I found back to the town. And he says, you have to get past me first, which immediately begins the battle. We have to figure out his weakness first, of course. Alright, so you roll a d20 for his weakness. 16 damage from behind. Okay, if I can manage to get behind him, that will be double damage. So I'm going to do some movements during combat, and there's a section about combat maneuvers. So actions other than attacking can occur. The attempted action requires a successful attribute roll. For example, if a boss's weakness is being attacked from behind, oh, what do you know? You can attempt to get behind the boss using a dexterity roll, and then attack in a single turn. Failing a maneuver ends a turn. For example, you can try to trap an orc against a wall by shoving a table, and your strength roll fails. Or you fail to light a tapestry on fire using a dexterity roll. These both end your turn. Alright, so I have terrible dexterity. I'm not going to be able to get behind him. I can't roll a 4 or less. So he only has 12 HP, and melee attacks don't hurt him as much. He gets -2 damage from melee attacks. So I'm going to see if I can cast a successful miasma spell, which I have 2 casts left. If I get less than a 10, it's 2d6 damage. I got an ultra cast. I got a 10 exactly. What is the miasma ultra cast? An ultra. Poison cloud permeates the entire area. All enemies at half attack ceiling for the remainder of the area. All current foes are poisoned. Poison does 1d4 damage per round. Awesome. Alright, well, I know that he's going to be getting some damage. 4 right off the bat. So he's down to 8. His armor class is reduced from 10 to 5, which is really going to hurt his ability to hit me. He rolls. He gets an 18, so he misses because he's poisoned. Now it's my turn to attack. And let me roll that again. A 4. Okay, that's a hit. Roll damage. I get a 3. He's down to 5. Plus 1d4 damage. I'm really bad at rolling a d4. 2, which takes him down to 3 hit points. He attacks me now. Oh, he gets a 2. Right, this is where the defensive moves come in. My last defensive move was a distract against the Golem NPC. So that means that I can block, dodge, or counter. Now his damage is a d12. So we first see what the damage is. It's going to be incoming, and it is an 11. Alright, so it comes down to this roll. This is either going to make or break my entire quest. I have 2 hit points left. He's coming in with 11 damage. And I'm going to try and block, obviously, since my strength is 17. So I have to get a 17 or less. If I get a 17, if I get an 18, 19, or 20, that's it for me. So this is a very important roll. Should we use a lucky d20 for this? Definitely. Since this is the most important roll of the game, I'm going to use my ice d20, since it's an ice castle. Come on, less than 17. Oh, a 14. Phew. Alright, I blocked that incoming damage. Okay, now it's my turn to attack. Get less than my attack ceiling of 16. Which I do. Now I can roll my damage of a d6. Oh, you know what? Yeah, well, he gets -2 incoming damage. So I got a 4, and that takes... It's really only a 2, since he gets -2 to incoming melee damage. But that takes him down to 1, plus my poison takes him down an additional 2 points. And he sputters out his last breath as the poison constricts his blood vessels. And he falls. So I successfully defeated Sorcerer Frieza. For beating a boss, you get 1,000 gold. That brings my total loot to 2,040, which means that I can hopefully buy some stats, get my dexterity up. I could buy 1 dexterity point, which would get me to 5. I mean, I could have taken my armor off this whole time and take my hit points down to 13 and put my dexterity back up to 6, but whatever. I don't know if I'm going to buy dexterity points. What I'll probably end up doing is just buying a bunch of healing potions. But that is it. We came very close to having our quest ended at the boss fight, but thanks to an amazingly lucky roll, I got my Ultra Cast for Miasma and poisoned him, and it was ultimately the poison that took him down. Well, that is it for that quest. I hope you saw all the different facets of Harper's Quest 2. I think the only thing we didn't talk about was doubling down. That might be something that we handle in a separate video altogether. Didn't see retreating, but that's just a dexterity roll. I think we saw everything else in the game. So that's it. You can definitely use this for any adventure type you want. Make up your own like we did here. The frozen lair of Frieza. And go from there. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Download or buy Harper's Quest 2. Available in the links below. Thanks, everybody. Bye.